Calmon.
Another
That is from Rasta. He won blood, and he will get the star point ball. Easy way. Well, he was a deja vu actually for his ADC as he gets late and opened up with an enchanted pistol arrow. New is the kill rate.
That's gets the kill. There is the 3-man shopping. Body 1-point lead ultimate. Explosive cast. Cross the Howling Gale. That is a double kill. Sarah will.
And right, Glenn will just be one shot after that. Blizzard eyeing Kanako here, iconic as well. This will be a triple.
Ladies and gents, welcome back to the Local Collegiate League powered by Lenovo. Of course, wow, pretty intense game that we had earlier. But of course, we're just going to move on to the next few games as there's a lot more in store for you. But of course, for anything else, we are going to be your casters for today. This is, of course, Arctic at your service. And of course, with me, one of, I'd say almost a legend in the PGS. Not yet. Okay, fair enough. So yeah, what do you think of the game earlier? That was pretty,
yeah.
Wow.
When you know, you're watching UCC play before, that's not the level of play that they showed going in, because again, if you think NCR is the best region in the Philippines, they should have won that for sure. But LCL Das Marinas came out, really good game plan, utilized their kits well enough to win, and they destroyed them.
Exactly.
UCC got destroyed.
That's the interesting thing.
There's not a better word for it than that.
Exactly. And you know, I guess that just goes to show that you could kind of assume that there's a lot of advantage with the teams coming from Metro East and Metro West. But at the end of the day, it just goes to show that anything can happen to LCL.
Oh,
like, teams were in like North Luzon, South Luzon, Visayas and Mindanao suddenly coming up pretty strong in some of the games that we've had.
I mean, it's the same in PGS, right?
Exactly.
Anything can happen. So if anything can happen at that level of play, since that's the highest level of play here in the Philippines, anything can happen in this setting, which is, there's still some of the best teams in the Philippines, but they're in that tier underneath the PGS teams.
There you go. You know, almost there, but not quite. Still a lot of fine-tuning before they could reach that level. Of course, before anything else, we also have our Search and Win winner from earlier. The question was, who had Cleanse as a summoner spell during that game? Of course, the answer is UCC Splinter. And the winner for that, congratulations to Dave Aaron Bacali. You won yourself a very lovely mystery gift for today. And of course, for those that still want in on those mystery gifts, don't worry, we still have a lot more ahead during the game.
There's a few more coming up, right?
Yes, exactly. So just watch the games, look out for the link, and fastest. I mean, like, just input the link right away, fill up all the information, and who knows, you might be the next winner. So yeah, what do you think of our talents, by the way, for the LCL? Because we do have a history of players transcending from the LCL to the PGS. I believe we've actually had a player from the LCL before. That was Raze.
Raze came from UST when we signed him for, at that time, IPT Blue. There are players in the LCL that can transition into that PGS caliber player, but of course that's not everybody is going to be able to make that jump as fast as a player like Raze.
True.
Because obviously there's a lot of factors there, what veterans the team that he's going into has, how they can coach him properly, how he can adapt to the PGS game, because it's different. It really is different. And because a lot of these LCL teams have made really late runs into the Piltover's finest series, and that just goes to show you that they can make that next step. It's just that there's just a few things that they need to change here and there moving forward.
Basically, you just have players that have the raw potential, but there's still some things that might need fine-tuning, some things that need more than fine-tuning, like complete overhaul in a way, as far as what they bring to the table.
Because mechanics at this point in League of Legends, a lot of people put a lot of stock into mechanics, and mechanics are important, but if you don't have any game knowledge, decision-making, these things are also just as important as mechanics. For us, it's about 50-50.
True.
50-50 between your game knowledge, your decision-making, and your ability to make, the mechanical.
And that's actually a good point, but I guess before anything else, looks like we are going to be going into the pick and ban phase between De La Salle University das Marinas and University of Caloocan.
The Lulu ban comes out again. I mean, it was their last game as well.
Yeah, a lot of emphasis on this Lulu, not even for just this game, but for a lot of the games that we've seen.
They took away the Lee Sin. That's interesting to me. That's interesting to me because while he did make some good plays, I don't necessarily think that that's something that you would need to ban outright. That's just my opinion.
And there we go.
And I don't know if that's going to replace the Vlad ban, or I guess they have a plan. They have a plan with that. So
yeah, definitely, especially since DLSU now first pick. So maybe they're banking on the possibility of securing picks they would have otherwise banned from UCC if they were on the red side. So yeah, LeBlanc going to be banned out from
that's interesting. I know that the new Banshees Veil makes LeBlanc strong. Light gave me a little bit of a rundown about the new Banshees Veil. He said it makes LeBlanc pretty strong, but the thing is, I don't. Unless they've seen it, maybe they've seen the LeBlanc with a new Banshees Veil, and it sucks to play against. Maybe Archmon has a good LeBlanc.
Yeah,
I really don't know, but
I
know that Kled's a target ban though. That Kled is definitely target ban, but
yeah, this is actually an interesting point that you brought up because especially since the mid-season patch pretty fresh, so it's interesting to see.
About 3 days, I think.
There you go, exactly. So we'll just have to see which team was actually managed to adjust within that short period of time transitioning into the game that they have for today. So yeah, looks like Kazak's going to be the last band away from Raphael of UCC.
Graves is a solid first pick. Graves is just really strong in general. He's got a really good power curve. He scales into the late if you need him to scale into the late, depending on what he builds. He's obviously got that really good early impact. He's got good ganks. Graves is a good first pick. It's better than first picking a Lee Sin like they did last game.
There you go.
That's the way I'll put it.
And yeah, in exchange, of course, going into the side of University of Caloocan, looks like the Karma's going to be hovered over while still figuring out what that other pick will be, as the jungler has already been revealed from the LSU. So it looks like they instead will be locking in the Ari for priority.
I mean, the Ari is a good pick, but again, you get the Vlad, who is also hyper, like, it's very strong. Vlad is unbelievably strong right now in this patch, and I mean, you do get the RES, but they get the Vlad, and I think the Vlad has a lot of sustain in the lane, much more than, I mean, the Ari does have the Q with the heal on the comeback, but the Vlad that's unlimited, almost infinite sustain.
Exactly. So, like, unlike with Ari, you kind of need to proc the passive
to
get 9.
Yeah, you got to proc the passive. And then you got the Lucian lock-in, right? Again, this is the second time I'm seeing this Varus ban. I don't know if... I do know that Varus, utility AD, it's still strong right now. The build is different, right? It's on hit now instead of the armor ban. So they banned the Rumble. That I feel like that is a good ban, especially in that second phase or DLSU das Marinas bans a Rumble. I feel like that's a good ban in that second phase because the Rumble was the only person that made an impact on the game for UCC, right? So they take away, but then UCC answers with taking away that Renekton. Renekton is also, for me, it's broken. Renekton is broken level champion at this point in time. You can't beat him in lane. If he snowballs, he's got tanginess, he's got CC, he's got damage.
Pretty well.
Yeah, and he's got sustain as well to a degree.
There you go. Looks like we have the locks. Yeah. There we go. Gragas, Shen, and Caitlyn so far for both UCC.
I actually like UCC's lineup here better than I did the last game. It's a little bit more balanced. You got the damage from the Ari. You got the AD from the Lucian, because I know Lucian is very strong right now. There's a lot of ADs in the world practicing Lucian currently, right? And then you have the damage from the Gragas. That Nautilus is actually a really good pickup, I think, because that is one form of hard CC. Everything in Nautilus's kit has CC, right? And if you look, Janna's sitting duck. Vlad, if he doesn't have pool, sitting duck as well. Shen's tanky, so you don't necessarily go all in on a Shen, obviously, but then the Caitlyn only has that one dash, possibly flash. But if the Nautilus is able to ult that Caitlyn in the backline, unless a Janna ults and the Shen ults the Caitlyn, I'm unsure they'll be able to peel off for their AD.
Exactly, and yeah, I gotta commend UCC. This is something a little bit more cohesive, I'd say, in comparison to the previous game. You know, they definitely don't want to miss out, especially after that pretty shaky loss earlier. Yeah.
I mean, shaky is that's putting it well. That's putting it well. I mean, 24-7. I think they were down by like 14 take goal. Yeah,
that was probably being a little bit too mild. It's a little bit mild.
It's brutal. It's brutal. But lineups, obviously UCC's lineups are very balanced, right? They have the tankiness, good tankiness with the Gragas and the Nautilus. The Gragas puts out good AP damage, right? They have the AP damage from the Ahri, they have the AP damage from the Lucian. So they have burst, they have sustain if they needed to be sustained. Their lineup right now is a little bit more balanced than it was last game, where they're relying on an Orianna and a Rumble, right? And the Caitlyn is the only form of AD that they have. So it's a little bit more balanced. But then, I mean, LaSalle Dasma, they're confident. They should be confident after that first loss. So we'll just have to see what happens when we get on the Rift. Yeah, exactly. And that's actually a good point that you brought up. But of course, before anything else, here we go as we take that magic carpet ride across Summoner's Rift. Very scenic view that we have here for Game 2 between DLSUD versus UCC. Represent to all the peeps watching, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook. Be sure to root for your favorite team right here and show some love for our teams. And yeah, there we go. Into the Rift we go. As we have both teams just kind of looks like very standard starts, I'd say. No particular invades. Both teams just playing it a little bit more safe. But UCC actually getting spotted out by that ward right there. So and then the badges come out.
There you go. So there we go. And yeah, looks like UCC, having been spotted out by that ward, kind of ruins that plan of grouping up together early on. So they will have to just go back to status quo, I'd say.
It would have been interesting to see what would have happened if they didn't get spotted out.
Because
they were grouped all together, so obviously like things could get real crazy in that situation. But
had that ward been put down a few seconds later, that might have been a little bit of a bad spot there for DLSU right there.
But Mad God Shen was really impressive last game. He had a lot of team fight changing ultimates, and I think when you look at DLSU Dasma's composition and lineup, right, he's gonna need to hit those same kind of game-changing ults here in like the early mid-game team fights once they hit 6.
Exactly, and looks like interesting. Both junglers actually gonna start off with the Raptor camps respectively. Especially then again, that is a Gragas and a Grave, so no surprise there. You know, they do have that efficiency to clear that, as opposed to other junglers, which might actually spell death in a way, because of their difference in how they clear out these jungles. But yeah, looks like so far, as expected, Archman just with the sustain right off there.
Yeah, I mean, the Ahri can put down all the pokes she wants, but the thing is, 2 Qs, unless she puts down sustained poke, right? You know, 1 Q, come forward, back, 2 AAs, 2 Qs of Vlad's back to full health. So.
Exactly. And like, even, let's say, if UCC does get a gank with the Gragas, I don't think it'll even be enough to take out Archman right away. Perhaps get him to low health, but I don't think it'll necessarily translate to a kill within the early phases of this lane.
At most, it's probably a flash. At most.
So yeah, we'll just have to see if UCC does play that game, if they could try to manage to bait out that flash from Archman. Although he does have that pull as an extra safety, but looks like Asta lingering. And yes, they're going to be going for that gank right there. That's going to be the shield coming from the Karma. A little bit of speed up, and looks like they will be safe from that gank right there. No summoners burnt whatsoever.
That was smart, though. It was smart because obviously, you know, a rattled player could easily just, you see the Graves immediately slide. You flash out.
Exactly.
But saving economical with their summoners. So.
Yeah. Good control there, you know, didn't panic right away, know that they could easily escape with the shields alone, especially since there's not really any form of hard CC to even stop them. Aside from the traps, I'd say, but that would have to be like pretty advanced plan.
Or a misplay by
there you go, exactly.
A misplay could turn those traps into hard CC.
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty high-stakes scenario wherein They definitely want to try to get to the top 4, so we'll just have to see if that...
There's only one team advances, so it's
exactly.
every game matters.
And UCC, you know, not exactly the best start.
Yeah.
Not at all.
No.
And okay, so not sure what Raphael just kind of standing around.
Yeah, I think he's dancing on the vision.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Mind games, you know.
Yeah. Oh, but there we go. UCC Raphael actually going to be going for the gang a little bit too far though. So pretty awkward. Actually.
Does the LSU Dasma have a ward? They do. So, but because what I was going back, I'm gonna go back to the Vlad a little bit.
Oh sure.
Vlad is really deceptively slippery. When you look at Vlad, it's kind of, you know, you imagine like an immobile mage because he doesn't have any form of escape other than the W. But that W makes him like really, really slippery in general.
Indeed, indeed. And like, I mean, if you think about it, even with the charm, even with the body slam, there's just nothing really you could do against Archmon in the early phases. Probably within the mid and late, definitely.
Yeah. But then if the Vlad gets his items, then he's doing more too. He'll be able to pump out just as much damage as they're giving to him.
True.
With the lifesteal as well.
So which is why, I mean, like, even though it doesn't translate to a kill, at least there has to be some sort of pressure.
Yeah, but then the Gragas has visited the RE twice, I think, already. So kind of just showing the Vlad, hey, I mean, I'm in the area, so don't try anything too crazy.
And like Vlad actually still has both cookies.
Oh yeah,
even summoners actually.
Actually, that's huge. It's the sustain. It's the sustain that we talked about at the beginning of the game.
And now that I just noticed, Ari actually went back, already had a recall, built up that first item right there, leading to a Morellonomicon eventually. So interesting, actually. Archmon didn't even need to recall it.
No, and he's just there farming, push the lane up to the turret, and now he's going to be able to recall, get his item, stay about even in CS because of the wave management. So.
Exactly. And looks like Donatello might be going for the recall, getting a little bit of harass onto Scyther right there. Not really, pretty expected trade there. But yeah, Jana coming back to lane and very, very slow. Oh, look at the damage though. Scyther taking quite a bit. Here comes the shield from the Jana there, but almost at 1/3 health for Scyther here. So very good harass.
Yeah, Lucian is slippery. Lucian is, but see the thing is, I feel like the Caitlyn is going to have a little bit of a, even though the Caitlyn does outrange a Lucian on AAs, I think Caitlyn is going to have a hard time maximizing the damage with the Q because of how slippery Lucian is.
Exactly, plus the fact that if you're going to compare the trades in lane, as far as what damage you could get out, I mean, when you have the Jana, you kind of, like, if you really want to maximize as much damage as you can, you need to land a Howling Gale. Oh yeah, exactly, or the shield for that little extra auto attack damage. But other than that, if you're going to compare it to Lucian or Karma, Karma in herself also has that poke, very well-rounded support. It's interesting, you know, UCC definitely a little bit more higher on what damage output they can versus a Caitlyn and a Jana.
And I think the Lucian's passive is very important in those trades as well. You know?
Exactly, the double auto. Yeah.
So I mean, that's big as well. But you see right here, UCC has no wards, doesn't see the Graves. So depending on how this Janna plays this vision, she might be able to catch out the Graves. But they're not pushed up far enough for the Graves to, I guess, get a good gank.
Exactly.
Into this situation.
And I think if you're going to look at it, Lucian, you're actually somewhat low on mana. So, you know, it would be overstepping a bit if they were still to play that aggro, especially knowing that you don't really, especially if things get a little bit more tricky there with that character of the Grave. So, but actually a good precaution there from UCC, trying to just equal out the lane for now.
But then, well, you talked about equaling out the lane. You just have to look at the CS. The Lucian is up by quite a bit. So that's going to be an issue going forward, because even though it's still 0-0, that Lucian is going to be much more dangerous much sooner than the Caitlyn will be.
Yes, and it looks like Lucian actually gone back already, built up, leading to Blade of the Ruined King. So while Caitlyn, actually, yeah, both marksmen are already going to be going back. DLSU kill a little bit overextended there. That would have been, but yeah, okay, getting a little bit of poke onto that tower. But still, not really substantial, I'd say.
Yeah. Oh, the flash forward by the Vlad. That's very interesting.
Almost, but not quite. Good attempt, though. Ignite. Escaping with a slither of health.
That's literally like one hit. One hit.
That one auto attack potentially that could have made the difference, but almost. Good try though by Archman. Still forcing out the Ari to go back.
He gets pressured into the lane. They're about even in CS, so obviously this wave will put him up, and he denies a whole wave basically from that Ari.
There you go. And looks like Archman will be pushing this, and potentially will be going for recall. Could go for a roam, but yes, indeed, will be going for the recall instead to build up one.
Because I mean, even if he does roam, he might. I don't think he would necessarily have a successful gank if you're looking at the way the map is right now. I mean, they're not going to be able to kill that Nautilus 100%, right? They're not going to be able to kill the Nautilus. Maybe Boss, but.
Yes, and low, here comes the gang from Raphael. Will this translate into a kill? That's going to be the Howling Gale. And the Monsoon from the Janna right there. And looks like they will be able to escape. Good play there from DLSU. Will be escaping a little bit, but looks like the aggression continuing from Leonardo right there. Getting some auto attacks onto Scyther, forcing them back under this turret. And yeah, but still no kills just yet.
I mean, it was ult for ult. It's even.
And here we go, another gank here in the mid lane here. DLSU, Archman, and Asta trying to get onto Splinter right here, but here comes Raphael for the response. That is going to be the teleport being used by Michelangelo, and the cancelled teleport actually from Mad God. Just a little bit of extra precaution, but looks like Asta not just done yet, getting some auto attacks onto Michelangelo, but still no kills just yet. Again, good attempt, but nothing translating to kills.
It seems like both teams are kind of playing it a lot safer than they were last game. You obviously have the good ganks, but they're not really forcing too much if they don't have to.
But yeah, oh, there we go. Asta actually spotting out Raphael again.
Well, here comes
be going
Shen,
for it,
so.
though. So yes, looks like that's going to be the 2v1. Here comes Splinter, though, going to be walking in. And yeah, we'll just have to see right there. They're chasing and chasing, but here comes the Nautilus as well. Not connecting, though. That dredge line. Here comes UCC Splinter trying to get the charm. Not connecting as well. You'll get rooted, and here we go. Archman going to be joining the party. It's going to be a 3v3 now as the members of DLSU continue the chase. There goes the Blado, and looks like first blood going to DLSU. Beautifully played there. Nautilus and Michelangelo will actually have to walk away, but not escaping 2-0 now. Wow, that just pretty interesting. Especially, you know, that was UCC.
They had the front foot on that fight to begin with, but the thing is, the Ari missed the charm. If she hits that charm, maybe the fight is a little bit different. But Mad God again, he hits a really good taunt. That pretty much ends up into the double kill for his team.
Those were 2 skill shots missed actually by UCC. The dredge line from the Nautilus, the charm from the Ari just went south for them so fast once Archman was able to respond within that vicinity.
If last game is anything to go off of, the Rumble Rumble's ult placement wasn't very good. We didn't feel any impact from the Orianna Shockwave. So maybe it's just, I guess, nerves, jitters?
Perhaps. I mean, it is a high-stakes situation. And, you know, that's actually interesting. That's actually an interesting thing because, but hold that thought right there. Looks like Raphael actually looking out to see if he could get a gank onto Archman, but not quite happening just yet. But yeah, as I was saying, this is a situation wherein, sure, you could be pretty talented in terms of mechanics, in terms of your overall skill as a player, but people tend to underestimate the pressure, the jitters, how players can be nervous and how it affects their play. So sometimes it doesn't matter how skilled you are. I've actually encountered these type of players in tournaments. No matter how skilled you are in solo queue, no matter how up you are in the ladder, once you hit tournaments or situations like this, out the window it goes.
It's literally a whole new world when you get to tournament level play.
And you know,
the psychological fortitude of a lot of the PGS players is really understated if you think about what they go through.
Indeed. Like, you could fault them for making all these mistakes, but oh, there goes the charm onto Archman though, but still surviving. Look at that sustain. We just keep on talking about the sustain. If that were any other champion, that would have been
it's dead.
Exactly. And whoa, very aggressive play there from Splinter. That is going to be the ult coming from the Shen. Will be able to chase out Splinter though, escaping, but no, the ignite just enough to take him down.
The ult and the ignite together.
Exactly.
Right?
There you go.
And again, this is a disastrous start again for UCC. This is a lot like the start of the game last game. They were just able to come back a little bit towards the middle, but then they lost that lead again at the end. So again, it's a disastrous start. there's really nothing else to say if you think about it that way.
And that's the thing, like, sometimes you can have in terms of composition, no matter how well-rounded it is, no wonder how good you strategize going into this game. If it doesn't translate to actually making it work, then with the composition
if you don't use your perfect composition the right way, it doesn't matter how perfect the composition
exactly, there you go. And as a result, you know, DLSU, even though not exactly the best, but looks like the calling coming in from Leonardo. But here comes Asta, gonna go for the guy. There goes the heal from Jana, but looks like Leonardo gonna escape with a slither of health. Will he be able to get him though? Not quite happening, and Donatello will be escaping. Good attempt there from DLSU though, forcing both members back.
That's like the one thing that has gone right for UCC here at the beginning of the game. They were able to use their skills properly to get away, and the bot lane survived there.
Yeah, that's actually a... So far, the John actually doing her job quite well.
Yeah.
Those were very crucial ults to make sure that they don't actually turn out like the other members of DLS. I mean, like UCC so far. Yeah, there you go.
So I mean, it's they do have good damage on that bot turret. If DLSU Dasma gets the first blood turret, I think that's going to be one of the nails in the coffin for this lineup. Unless, of course, UCC can get some good team fights. But right now it's looking pretty bleak.
Exactly.
And it sucks that it's looking bleak, especially this early.
Exactly.
Well,
look
there
at Splinter
you
go. Very aggressive, but that's going to be a 1-for-1 though. There was some action actually happening in the bot lane as well. Scyther managing to take down Donatello, but goes Michelangelo going in onto Scyther. The vengeance is real, will be taken down, and here comes the teleport from Mad God right there. This is going to be quite the fiasco. DLSU UK going to be the next to go down. Here comes Raphael for some response, and Mad God will be the next to go down. Archman, the only surviving member of DLSU, will be forced to back away. That's going to be the pool, and wow, comeback is definitely real for UCC.
UCC just said, well, I think we can prove you wrong this game.
Yeah, like I think they might have heard us about the whole position thing. So finally, they're gonna be translating that to 3 kills and
the game's dead even again. So,
exactly.
So obviously, that takes back everything. It was just one team fight. One team fight changed the whole landscape of this early game.
Exactly, and you know, I was actually thinking that DLSU might have discontinued whatever lead that they had, but UCC actually playing it a little bit more smarter.
Because I mean, if you look at the replay here, right, the Karma gets instantly killed by the Caitlyn, and the Lucian is doing his best to you know, mitigate or kite back, right? But the Nautilus TPing first was the thing that changed the team fight, because it was just a response from the Shen. So the Nautilus, good map awareness to see that TP, right? And then obviously the Ahri gets a cleanup after getting the solo kill near the dragon. So,
ooh, look at Splinter escaping with a slither of health, though. Will be escaping, so yeah, still very even as DLSU actually putting some form of pressure in this mid lane, and yeah, that's actually going to be the first turret down bottom.
Okay,
Scyther
so
managing to get that first turret.
That dead even thing. Rage just ulted. I don't know if you saw that. Rage just ulted.
So good example. Oh, look at Mad God going for that tower dive right there with that turret very low. No surprise right there. Raphael gonna get knocked up by that John Howling Gale. They are going for the chase, and Archman getting the kill, killing spree once again, putting him back on the map as far as the lead that he has on this Vladimir.
Okay, so the Gragas gets hits with CC, right? Then he ults, and nothing comes out of his ult. If you saw it there, nothing came out of that ultimate. That was pretty big. The Ahri came in back again, but one team fight later, they're down again by 3K gold, where they started basically.
Yeah, and it's mostly
because of the objective pressure.
Exactly, like 1 kill on top of 2 outer turrets, both in the mid and the bot lane. Not bad by DLSU, you know, definitely emerging on top right there over UCC. It's just going somewhat back and forth. I personally see a lot more consistency from DLSU so far. Like UCC, they did have that one successful
burst, yeah.
Exactly, but so far, as far as anything else in this game,
like the control is just clearly on DLSU.
Definitely, and here we go. Splinter actually getting caught out again, but Raphael actually within the area to respond, getting some damage onto Mad God, but that is a very tanky Shen right there. Getting him...
And a tanky Shen that has built Tiamat for the 2nd game in a row. Again, I spoke at length about the Tiamat last game. I don't understand what that is. But hey, I guess for him it worked last
Yeah,
game.
it's
So
working so far.
I'm just going to keep using it. UCC has to come up here to bot to answer the push, because if they don't answer that, it's a third turret, and their map is just it's like Swiss cheese.
That's going to be
right
another
now.
charm, though, missed by Splinter right there. Archman committing now that he's under turret, but that's going to be the shutdown, though. Not able to get the kill onto Splinter. Splinter will be able to escape with the slither of health once again. Always a slither of health with Busari, actually. Oh!
Hit him from downtown. Hit him from like Steph Curry range.
Yeah.
Steph Curry range with the ultimate.
That was some sneaky move by Asta right there. Definitely paid off. And I keep on seeing Splinter in these awkward situations. It's either he dies, he escapes with the slither of health. I don't know what's going on here.
He's actually been on a lot of fringes of team fights, really weak, and I'm unsure as to why.
Yes,
but
and here we go though. DLSU, Asta and Mad God actually chasing out Michelangelo here. I think they will actually be able to take him in. There goes Mad God though, continuing the chase, but Graves actually not continuing the pursuit though. Mad God a little bit overextended, taking a lot of tower damage, but looks like he will be able to escape for the meantime.
The biggest thing that you have to look at there, the Nautilus ulted, right, and the Graves uses Flash to try and get the kill. So I don't know how that's going to affect the game later on, but it's good to note because they used a lot to try and kill
exactly, a lot of
really
resources.
Tanky Nautilus.
And the only thing they managed to take out of there is a flash from Not, but as far as
no,
the kill,
a flash from the Graves.
Oh yeah, there we
so,
go.
I mean, they didn't get the kill, and I guess that's pretty important when you look at that situation.
Exactly.
They pushed up really far.
All that for a Nautilus.
Yeah.
I mean, like if it were a key target, a squishy key target, especially.
Something that's easy to kill.
Yeah, like maybe Splinter, he has been in a lot of those situations, but here comes Raphael, going to try to get onto Archman right there, but Archman with the sustain, with the tricky moves there, will be able to escape, no problem whatsoever, mate. And yeah, here we go though, DLSUK actually catching out Leonardo here. It's actually both bot lanes in the top right now.
K better be glad that he didn't get engaged upon there. He was a little bit out of position, and his carry was a little bit far from where he was standing, so. But he survives. That's what's important.
Indeed. And yeah, looks like Splinter actually going to attempt to push in on, and no other members actually of DLSU within the vicinity of Archman here, but Archman clears out that creep wave right away, duels it out with Splinter right there, but with the sustain, actually goes for the ult onto Splinter. Will he be able to escape though? And looks like that'll be the case. Asa though and Raphael, both junglers in for the response. Here we go though, Archman trying to see if he could get Splinter. Splinter trying to play bait in that case, but will be able to escape. Still no kills transitioning, but wow. Yeah, look at Asta clearing out that jungle there.
clears out his Raptors, slashes the badge, psychological warfare.
Yeah, Asta showing a lot of confidence, and they very much well should. I mean, they do technically have the advantage as far as how they started out this series.
Exactly. That 24/7, never forget.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have a little psychological warfare on Summoner's Rift, you know, try to get UCC into that mindset where they kind of, you know, out of the frustration, just kind of make these
bad plays.
Exactly.
Make mistakes.
And yeah, Raphael though actually lingering around, but will be caught out by that ward right there. And with that knowledge, DLSU going to play a little bit more
Actually,
safer.
now seeing that we passed the 20-minute mark and Baron's up, what's odd to me is that these teams aren't putting a lot of importance onto the new Rift Herald.
Ah, there you go.
That is a big question mark for me because I know the new Rift Herald is unbelievably strong. So,
and I feel like if you're gonna look at the teams that might have benefited, well, probably I'd pick it on UCC because like if DLSU had it, it would just emphasize their pressure. Oh, but hold that thought. Looks like Scyther actually gonna be in this fight, and it looks like it's gonna be a 3v3 now. DLSU trying to re-engage here as they try to take down the Ahri. It looks like Splinter will be able to escape once again, and 3 members actually gonna be chased by a total of 4 members. Michelangelo gonna try to keep the members of DLSU at bay. Archman continuing in the chase, trying to get onto Donatello. Donatello runs away, and here we go. 3 members still converging onto Michelangelo, going for the tankiest member of UCC, but looks like Leonardo caught in a very tough place there. Will be taken down. That is going to be 1 member down now for UCC as DLSU pressure is on.
That was an unbelievably crazy team fight. That was a crazy long sustained team fight. Pretty much everything is gone for both teams, but DLSU Dasma comes out on top.
Indeed, like that one kill made all the difference.
And at the beginning of that fight, it looked like UCC had
Exactly.
the advantage, but somehow the LSU Dosman turns it around, and that goes back into the point that we were saying about their control of the game. They just look like they're the better team right now.
So yeah, there we go. DLSU, Mad God. Actually might
I think
get
this
the
is
turret. Yeah.
It should be the turret.
This is actually what I like about the Tiamat. It doesn't necessarily, not the best.
Synergize.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
for Shen, but then again, you do have that extra speed in terms of clearing out waves so that you can push a little bit more. And it's definitely working for him right now, and that is going to be another turret. All outer turrets, down, down, down you go for UCC.
And that's huge for them because when you lose all your outer turrets, the map just opens up so much for your enemy, really. And it's that extra space, especially with the team that that DLSU has now, they'll be able to utilize it well. I mean, it gives a lot of space for the Graves to orchestrate ganks and things like that, especially when you have the Nautilus in a situation like this right here. Like, because of the extra space that's added, they're able to, there's more things that they can do on the map.
And here we go, UCC actually
But at least
pushing
they're
on
able to
this
answer
up.
the
Finally, one turret taken down for UCC, so that does give them an objective, but still, so far, 4,000 gold difference in favor of DLSU. Still in DLSU's court, I'd say, as far as how they've been playing this game. Definitely coming out on top. And look at the damage, taking down this mid turret with a lot of efficiency right there. That's going to be the redemption popped out by UCC, and look like that is going to be another fight. Wow! Splinter actually managing to take down Scyther right there. DLSU down one member, not just one, now two, as K is the next casualty. Looks like 5 members now converging on this mid turret. Will he be able to take it on this turret? But looks like for the meantime, 2-0, UCC got it.
Yeah, it was good. Except the thing was, I don't know if the Lucian needed to necessarily ult right there. I mean, he could have either given it to the Ahri. Or
I mean, like, that was a very squishy target already as is.
But they, losing the two, UCC taking out the 2 players of the LSU Dosman, right? This opens up a Baron for them, but it's not necessarily a safe Baron.
Exactly.
Because you still, UCC's jungler is still alive. The Graves is still there. The Vlad is there. The Shen's obviously ulting into the team fight right now.
There we go, 3 members of DLSU trying to contest this Baron. Looks like Mad God, though, soaking up a lot of the damage, but will be going down eventually, as that is going to be 2 members left for DLSU. And yes, Asta actually getting the kill onto Donatello, 1-for-1 now, but looks like UCC trying to do what they can. But here comes Scyther and K to respond to this fight right here. That's going to be the route onto K, but no, goes down quite fast. Scyther in quite trouble here as 4 members converge onto this Caitlyn right here. Goes down once again, 4 members. DLSU fumbling quite a lot. Wow.
Okay, so obviously...
Wow, ace. There you go.
There's
That's going to be the ace.
All right, so you see that team fight happen, and there's a lot of stuff going on, but what the biggest takeaway from that is they had to replay. The Gragas ult was pretty effective there. But Mad God is just here literally soaking up the damage, right? And the Graves tried to go in, overextended a little bit, ends up with such low health. Nautilus lands a good hook. The Vladimir ends up dying. But here's the important part. This Caitlyn should have been able to kill. They were all fairly weak in that situation.
Exactly.
So, I mean, obviously the Janna dying fast was also a big contributing factor to that. But the Caitlyn had the tools to be able to clean up that team fight pretty well.
Exactly. And looking back at that, DLSU, they already stopped the Baron take.
Yeah.
And
they could have disengaged.
Yeah,
as
like
well.
3 casualties was enough. But an ace out of that, a Baron for 5 members down. A prevented Baron for 5 members down. Not exactly the best scenario for DLSU right there. And UCC, a lot of confidence back into this game now that they've somewhat established.
I mean, the game's dead even again.
Yeah, dead even once again. I mean, like, even with the kills up, I gotta commend DLSU, though, because of how they played it earlier.
Yeah.
The gold's still pretty even, I'd say. Like, even with the kills for UCC.
But then what you have to realize with UCC's team is much like last game where everything was on the Rumble. Now, Ahri has 8 kills. All right? All of large majority of her team's kills are concentrated just on her. So the question is if the remaining damage dealers can put out damage if she dies. If DLSU Dasma focuses that Ahri properly, the team fight will be over and probably like a really big objective they will be able to get after that.
And I gotta commend Splinter in this case because for the first 20 minutes of the game, there was so much emphasis on taking down Splinter, and you'd kind of expect that Splinter would actually be probably the least out as far as KDA for UCC, but 8-3-3 on this Ari, a lot of which was due to I'd say overconfidence in a way, perhaps overcommits from DLSU, that Ari, despite the emphasis of trying to put her behind, actually doing quite well for UCC.
Yeah.
And looks like this is going to be the Mountain Drake attempt from UCC right there. But next looks like this is going to be the 5v5 that we have been waiting for. There we go. That's going to be the culling pop from Solution, trying to get some damage onto key members, but not quite happening. Going into the tanks instead. Splinter actually putting a lot of emphasis on Scyther right here. Not able to be taken down. Blue team actually taking this Mountain Drake, but here comes the fight once again. Mad God very, very healthy. Looks like there's going to be a lot of members taken down. DLSU getting the kill onto Leonardo. DLSU, this might be their fight. They are chasing out Raphael and Splinter right here. Actually divided right now, but still 2 members of UCC down. They are continuing the chase. A lot of emphasis on pressuring these 2 members. Forced to back away, but wow. DLSU once again, I'd say a lot. We see a lot of good plays from UCC, but as far as consistency in this game, DLSU a little bit more.
They've showed more. They've showed
definitely,
more.
definitely.
That was a lot of good plays from both sides, but the thing was, if you look at the end of that team fight, right? DLSU, Dasma, their health bars are basically full.
Exactly.
So I mean, even though UCC, they use a lot of their spells, it's nothing too much came out of it.
Oh, but here we go, the Baron,
over the
yes,
wall.
There you go. Raphael actually trying to get a bot, very good. Blasting Cone initiate there from Mad God, actually takes it down. That cancels out any potential Baron steal that they can, but looks like Asta will be sacrificing himself, but still, a job well done by DLSU. Splinter continuing the chase actually onto 4 members.
That was a really good play on the Blast Cone. He hit the Blast Cone, that way the Gragas can't go over the wall because, I mean, it was pretty much telegraphed at that point that was going to happen.
Exactly. Like, the only form of way he could get in onto that Baron was the Body Slam, but let's go look at
this is that team fight at Dragon, right? So if I don't know why the Redemption comes out so early for UCC here. And then if you notice, the Nautilus took a lot of the damage from the Lucian's ult, right? So this just leaves the Caitlyn in the backline to put down that, or the Caitlyn was in the backline trying to put down that necessary damage, but there's nothing that UCC can do here.
Exactly.
Look at the health bars. You just have to look at the health bars.
And just wow, just going south so fast, and DLSU with that Baron.
At that point, the game was even.
Exactly.
At that point, the game was even. So
UCC just fumbled right then and there, and it's just going to be so much harder for them. DLSU back in their court, plus the fact that they have that Baron, just going to establish so much more pressure against UCC at this point.
They were fighting an uphill battle to begin with, and they're again fighting another uphill battle.
Exactly. And UCC, a lot of stumbles as far as...
Again, this was a team that was supposed to... They had a lot of upsets in their group stage.
There's actually a lot of expectations coming from UCC. Yeah.
It's weird to see them play like this.
And the culling actually going to be wasted onto this. I wouldn't say wasted. Then again, they were able to prevent by a few extra seconds of life onto their inner turret, but still...
Yeah, I don't necessarily know if that's the best trade. I guess they're trying to push out a little bit to try and give them a little bit more space into a team fight, but I don't think they have the tools necessary to win a team fight unless the Ahri lands a pretty good combo here.
Exactly. And that's tricky, you know, especially with the history of skill shots that we've seen thus far in the game. A lot of crucial mistakes being made by UCC, but there we go. Ooh, a lot of actions onto this turret right here. DLSU knocking, but looks like that's actually the split push coming from Mad God right here in the bot lane right there. That's going to be Michelangelo going to go for the response, but still, with that Baron, it's going to be so hard for UCC. They're actually forced to separate at this point to try to defend these turrets.
UCC has pretty good wave clear if you think about that. They're still able to clear that wave even though it's baroned off. Right? Like, and so now DLSU, they're going for the top, like complete choking of map space from UCC.
And exactly, DLSU just gonna have, I mean, like, let's say even with the Baron down, like after all said and done, there's just so much pressure at this point that DLSU exerting. They're able to penetrate the jungle side of UCC. They could establish vision after. There's just so many options for them at this point that it's going to be so hard for UCC to get back unless DLSU makes a mistake.
The Caitlyn just ulted the Ahri for a really good chunk of her health.
Oh wow, look at Archman, a lot of confidence, actually going to go for the flash in, and tries to take down Splinter, but wow, that is going to be the shutdown though onto Splinter, and here we go, DLSU once again emerging on top. They are taking down members of UCC one by one. Looks like Leonardo, the next juicy target, and tries to run away, but will be going down to Austin. That is 3 members total. UCC, not quite coming out right there. Raphael and Michelangelo, the only members left, and looks like this may potentially be the game as DLSU.
I don't think that the Nautilus, well, they could possibly have the wave clear, but I don't think they survive long enough to defend their base.
Look, it's just the tankiness, but it's just so hard. Like, they're just big meat walls, but as far as stopping this, not quite happening.
In that engage, the Nautilus did ult the Caitlyn, and that's what we were talking about during the draft. Like,
exactly.
But then it's, again, too little too late for UCC. This is pretty much it.
There we go, ladies and gents. Congratulations, DLSU.
Congratulations for the 2-0. Wow. That's 3 points like it is in PGS. I mean, this game, gold-wise or control-wise, this game was much more dominating for DLSU Dasma, but it wasn't the same beatdown that they gave in game 1.
Yeah,
but if you look at the gold, if you look at the macro play, if you look at all the decisions that they made over the course of the game, they obviously deserve to come out on top.
Definitely.
They did have the mini throws, but every team throws.
Yeah, it happens
now and then. So
just probably not the best moment to actually throw considering the circumstances.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go ahead and check out the scoreboard right here.
Because I mean, like I said earlier, the kills are a little bit more spread out on DLSU Dasma. You got the 6 on the Vlad, you got the 5 on the Graves, right? You have the 11 assists on the Shen. Whereas if you look at UCC's lineup, you have the 8 kills on the Ahri and then pretty much nothing on everybody else.
There you go.
And that's pretty much what spelled their demise.
Yeah, I mean, like, sure, Splinter was ahead, but without other key members to kind of contribute in, like, Ahri isn't quite enough going up against this comp.
Because if you look at this, right, the Ahri did the most damage to enemy champions if you're looking at this. But the thing is, you have to look at the other numbers. The 2nd and 3rd place for in terms of damage to champions, right? It's not a lot.
Exactly.
And you need if you didn't know, you need damage to win team fights.
And the problem is that, sure, they could exert, I mean, like, sure, UCC could exert a lot of damage, but because of the fact that Vladimir in itself has a lot of sustain, can easily heal up, plus the fact that you have that extra precautionary measures from the Janna with the shield, with the heal from the ult.
Yeah.
So it just makes it so hard for UCC.
And they had a lot of good redemptions or during team fights as well. Like, they're coming out of team fights where ults have been burned, UCC's ults have been burned already, and they're coming out with full health because of good redemption placement. So that's also very solid as well.
Indeed, indeed. So, but yeah.
It's an upset.
Indeed,
first upset
indeed.
of the day.
First shocker of the day. Probably a lot more to come, definitely. Yeah. So, but yeah, ladies and gents, that was the game for Game 2. Congratulations once again to DLSU. Very, very well played. But still, kudos as well to UCC for playing that really, really well, of course. For the meantime, we have been your casters. This is, of course, Arctic once again, and with me is Raph. Stay tuned as we have a lot more games up ahead. But of course, this is the Local League powered by Lenovo. Stay tuned. Down Donatello, but oh, goes Michelangelo going in onto Scyther. Vengeance is real, will be taken down. And here comes the teleport from Asgard right there. This is going to be quite the fiasco. DLSU going to be the next to go down. Here comes Raphael for some response, and Mad Dog will be the next to go down. Archman, the only surviving member of DLSU, will be one of those. That is going to be another fight. Wow! Splinter actually managing to take down Scyther right there. DLSU down 1 member, not just 1, now 2, as K is the next casualty. Looks like 5 members now converging on right now. There we go, 3 members of DLSU trying to contest this Baron. Looks like Mad God, though, soaking up a lot of the damage, but will be going down eventually, as that is going to be 3 members left for DLSU. And yes, Asta actually getting the kill onto Donatello, 1-for-1 now. But looks like UCC trying to do what they can, but here comes Scyther and K to respond to this fight right here. That's going to be the root onto K, but no, goes down quite fast. Scyther in quite trouble here. 4 members converged onto this Caitlyn right here. Goes down once again, 4 members. That looks like this is going to be the 5v5 that we have been waiting for. There we go. That's going to be the current pop from Illusion, trying to get some damage on the 2 members, but not quite happening. Going into the tanks instead. Splinter actually putting a lot of emphasis on Scyther right here. Not able to be taken down. Blue team actually taking this mountain drake, but here comes the fight once again. Mad God very, very healthy. Looks like there's going to be a lot of members taking down. DLSU getting the kill onto Leonardo. DLSU, despite the other fight, they are chasing out Raphael and Splinter right here. Actually divided right now, but still 2 members of UCC down. They are continuing the chase. A lot of emphasis on pressuring these two members, forces back away, but wow. Oh wow, look at Archman, a lot of confidence, actually going to go for the flash in, and tries to take down Splinter, but wow, that is going to be the shutdown though on Splinter, and here we go, DLSU once again emerging on top. They are taking down members of UCC one by none. Looks like Leonardo, the next juicy target, and tries to run away, but will be going down to Austin. That is 3 members total. UCC, not quite coming down, right?
It's pretty much it.
There we go, ladies and gents. Congratulations, DLSU. 2-0.
I mean, this game, goal-wise, or control